to USA Global TV and Radio. I'm Dr. Jacalyn Kerbeck, and our show today is the MALLORCA Connection. Joining me for this show wouldn't be possible because he is the connection, is Mr. ROLAND FRIEDL. He is such a big part of our platform here. He is a co-host, obviously. He's an expert presenter on our Talking Heads program, and he is an elevated listener. He is my mentor and has helped me so much, and he's helping so many others all across the world. Let's welcome him to the program. Hi, ROLAND.
Hi, Dr. Jacalyn. Great to see you again.
Nice to see you too. Where in the world are you today?
Well, right now I'm in a beautiful landscape in a more or less wilderness, close to my auntie's home in northern Austria, just a drop away from the Czechoslovakian border. So really beautiful area here.
Well, it suits you well. You look very healthy and rested. So congratulations.
Yeah, I did a lot of work in the garden, helping my aunt in her house, and a lot of garden work, and also working on my work I'm doing on my computer. I work in the garden in the sun because I love to be outside and work remotely wherever I am. So as I always say, the world is my home, the world is my office.
And for people who haven't met you before, we do have 2 new platforms that people are joining us from all the time. As always, I'm going to spotlight you. And if you can share a little bit about the work that you do to help men, and also your whole concept about a wireless life, and you're living in an RV and traveling around. Tell us about that as well, please.
Yes, sure. Hello, everyone, wherever you are joining us from all over the world, whatever platform you're using. Very welcome here on the MALLORCA Connection. My name is ROLAND, and as you will recognize from my language, I'm not a native English speaker or even American speaker. I'm born and raised in Austria, a beautiful small country in the middle of Europe. But I've always been a world traveler. I traveled almost the whole world, working actually every continent for my company, and they're living, facilitating trainees to top companies all over the world. And the last 14 years, my home base was the beautiful island of Mallorca that I left actually end of March, just to move into my RV full time. I don't know how long, maybe a year and a half. I have no idea. So just for the RV, the plan is to have no plan, because with all these technical possibilities and opportunities, we can work wherever we want. So the work I'm doing is, since over 3 decades, I'm facilitating, delivering coaching, consultings, trainings to international corporations worldwide. And besides them, as you mentioned, Dr. Jacalyn, Wireless Life Rocks is a coaching platform that I founded years ago because some people came to me, especially executives from companies, and said, "ROLAND, hey, you have a little bit weird, but a very cool lifestyle. Maybe you can coach me to work remotely or to become more independent, maybe more purposeful, more happy life. To work remotely. It doesn't have to be an RV or an island, can be your garden, your terrace, or a lake or in the mountains, wherever you are." So that's Wireless Life Rock, supporting people to do the next step, bringing them to the next level of their life to be more purposeful, more happy. And the work with men I do because actually I'm a human being and I'm a man. So I found out through all my stories, my traumas in my childhood, the work I did for myself. I found out that I have to change something, I have to do something, I had to learn to recognize my emotions, to speak about them, to be more open. And I found out in many conversations, one-to-one conversation with friends in the industry, the business, they are facing the same problems. We men are educated and trained and thrilled, not to show emotions. It's weak. Don't cry tears, be tough. But I learned over the years it's not good, it's not healthy, especially it's not healthy in a relationship, in a lovely relationship. So I learned from my girlfriend to change this, to do this differently. And as I mentioned before, I recognize that many men all over the world have the same challenges on that. So I started a platform, Sparing for Men, where we men connect each other and talk about about being a man. And I'm very happy to announce that we also bring this on this amazing platform on the USA Global TV and radio station, Wild at Heart. We're starting soon, I guess in 8 days. We launched the first Wild at Heart, real, authentic, uncut men show, a show by men, for men, about men. Yeah, thank you so much.
Thank you, ROLAND. I really appreciate your your candor and your humility, just sharing what you did. And the men's show is getting a great amount of support. And I actually was just filled with joy as men are posting things about, thank you for doing this. This is going to be a great conversation. So this was your initiative, and I've got to give you all the credit for it.
Thank you. But, without your platform and the job you did in the past and all the effort you put in and the money you put in, it wouldn't be possible. So I thank you too, Dr. Jacalyn.
Well, it's a team effort. So before we bring out our guests, I just want to share with our audience who might not be aware, if you don't take a chance, if you don't put yourself out there, you don't know what you're missing. And in this example, we have another friend, John Christian, who was on the platform. He introduced me to ROLAND, and I saw something in ROLAND. I asked him if he would come and be on the platform as well. And I refer to him on a regular basis. I reach out to him for coaching, for mentoring, for his friendship. So open your arms and open your heart and let someone new in, because you never know how your life is going to be changed or impacted. It's just a beautiful thing. So thank you, ROLAND, for your friendship.
Thank you. It's all about caring and sharing. This what makes us happy, and that's what connects us, and this is what global TV and radio stands for. We're becoming more and more, I think, a good family, a firm family with a firm background with good values, and that's what I highly appreciate, and that's why I'm on fire.
Fantastic. Well, we've got a fabulous guest backstage, and I'm going to spotlight you for his introduction.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, I'm very happy that we finally made it. My guest today, our guest today, is a person I highly appreciate. I met him, actually, I think it was 2011, something like that, 11 years ago, I guess, in the Emirates in Dubai. I was facilitating a training for a huge company, actually, for Xerox. As far as I remember, it was a 5-day training. I did the soft skill, and I think he did the technical part. I'm not quite sure about that, but he will tell us. And yeah, we get to know each other. Since then, we are in contact. We became very good friends. I highly appreciate not only his expertise, but his value system, his character. And I remember that 2 years ago, a little bit more than 2 years ago, we met the last time face to face before the pandemic in London. And yeah, he came to me and said, he left the corporate world, started his own business. And Dr. Jacalyn, you always know that I'm very, very happy when somebody starts his own business. And I know it's challenging. Of course it is. There's my distraction, especially when you start a company before the pandemic. This is even more challenging. So yeah, we are friends. We did a kind of partnership. So I was very happy to support him a little bit with my expertise on developing trainings, designing trainings, and facilitating. And he's an absolute expert, and he has an amazing network where he's coming from in the Far East. And today's topic is how to do business successfully in which countries and where do we invest in the Middle East. Let's bring him on the show. Welcome, Mr. Mohamed Mounir.
Welcome.
ROLAND. Hello, welcome, Dr. Jacalyn. Thank you so much for having me. And ROLAND, what amazing introduction. In fact, it's an honor knowing you. And yes, in that training backstage, you were doing some of the soft skills, and I was doing the technical part. And after that, we worked a lot together in South Africa, if I'm not mistaken, in UK.
Yeah.
We delivered different training in Denmark one time, if I'm not mistaken, as well. So it was a lot of fun we're having together. So thank you so much, and having me here from Cairo with the good weather. And I don't know if you have been hearing the adhan. It was just finishing up. So talking about the Middle East. Now we're going to be absolutely talking about how to do some investments in the Middle East and what to take care of. So help me God.
Yeah. Before we start, do you know, Jacalyn, tomorrow, I think tomorrow there's a show on USA Global TV about an amazing cultural event in Egypt. I think so. I saw an announcement.
Yes, it's gonna be in the opera. Yes.
Yeah. And it's on USA Global TV tomorrow too. I guess with Madeleine Shane, I think so.
So actually, we had the event. We had the interview, but the event is taking place.
Yeah,
I think it's in August or September, and it's actually a musical event. I think it's a concert. It's taking place at the Pyramids.
Cool.
Very exciting.
Yeah,
Okay.
almost welcomed.
So, Mohamed, thank you again for being here. And I know we have a lot of people watching. You obviously have a great network of followers, and welcome to all of them. So, for us here in the United States, which is where I am, what do we need to know about doing business in the Middle East? Like, what are some of the basics just to get in the game, so to speak?
All right. Okay. So to start knowing how to start investing in the Middle East and what do you need to know about it, is initially we need to start understanding about the culture and the conflicts and the various between countries in the Middle East. You cannot take the Middle East as a whole. It's, of course, it's a region. However, in those countries, there are a lot of differences and a lot of challenges that you need to be aware of before starting the investment. All what I'm saying is that, coming from the background, I do have a bachelor degree in foreign trade. So my studies in the college was related with the having business across countries and foreign trade. That was basically my education, and my master's degree was related with doing business across countries as well. I do have a master's degree in business, and that's exactly what led to my work experience in the last. I think it was starting from 2010 till 2019, and I was working with Xerox as handling the developing market operations from a marketing perspective, deployment perspective about services, and in those developing market operations, it was the Middle East, Latin America, Central Eastern Europe, India, and Russia. And of course, Middle East and Africa was part of my region. And what is exciting and what's more interesting about it is that if you embrace the changes, the challenges, and if you embrace that it is different in different elements of doing the business, and have a cultural difference, and once you take this into consideration in deploying any strategy or opening up a business, you will definitely succeed. My region was almost representing 70% of that line of business from Xerox, and it was really successful. So to go into this Middle East investment, first of all, you need to understand and figure out if you are a trader or an investor. That's a little bit different, and you need to figure out what exactly you need to do. If you are going and focusing on winning some quick money and quick portfolio from investing in different companies or different stock markets in the Middle East, that's absolutely fine, because it's all new with the stock market. It has some opportunities there. There are a lot of winning companies where the traders can make business in. However, all what I'm saying is that if you are a US citizen or European citizen or someone from abroad, you need to think about it. Am I willing to have some big risks, some trading short term, or am I going to do some investment and I need to stay in those countries and make profit out of them? So that's absolutely the first question that you need to ask.
Thank you very much. That was very helpful.
Mounir, what would you suggest when somebody, let's say myself, for example, as an European, I would love to do business selling, for example, a typical Austrian product, yeah, in the Middle East. Would you go to just start in one country? Which is the best country to entry? What do I have to consider?
All right. Okay. So Roland, what you need is the minute that you need to start thinking about it, that you need to search for the political stability and the clarity of policy framework. This is the most challenging, because you would find a lot of countries that have a lot of attractions in terms of the investors, foreign investors, people would love to, and countries, governments would give you some passports, some facilitation in order to do business. A lot of, if you're coming with foreign investment, US dollars and so on, definitely this would definitely put you into a situation where, okay, you're most welcome. But the minute that you need to enter and you want to do clear business is to start understanding what is the political stability. Because without the political stability, the risk will be higher, a lot higher. And then you might gain a lot, of course, with the risk, but you might as well lose a lot. What am I talking about with a policy framework? First of all, you need to understand if there is, the government is putting some emphasis on the investment, foreign investment, how to facilitate that, taxation, regulations, labor laws, and so on, and make sure that the policy is stable and clear, that you understand it quite good, and that you are able to gain your investment and your return on investment in the right way. The second element that you need to think: should I go to a certain country, and what countries that are now attractive? And I would say in the Middle East, it has its own nature, that after conflict restructuring. So if we are talking about the countries where there were some conflict, and then it started to finalize the conflict and go to the restructuring phase, those are the best countries that you invest in. Because it's absolutely, it needs a lot of foreign investment. It gives a lot of, there are a lot of opportunities. It's a non-saturated market, lower competition, easy to go in and easy to do business with. So countries like Egypt, for example, after having this disturbance and disruption happened from two revolutions in 2011 and then 2013. It is a very good place to start, investing in, and there are a lot of opportunities in Egypt. If we're talking, for example, about Lebanon, with what happened in Lebanon from a political point of view and economical point of view, it is very much attractive to do investment. The dollar rate is extremely high, so if you're having your capital will definitely be multiplied by a lot, and you can have a good manpower, good manufacturing things, and so on. So it's after conflict restructuring is absolutely good. We have seen that in let me say Egypt. Now we're going to be seeing it in Libya, Yemen, and then, and of course, we have seen that in Iraq from a long time ago. However, that's not the only element. As I mentioned, think about what is the political stability and having a clarity of the policy framework. If this is the situation, then those countries are the best to invest in. And if we see from the countries that I've talking about, I think it's the best now with the clarity of the policy framework and the political stability. I would definitely go for Egypt as a start.
Okay. I have a following question. What do you think, what kind of products, services, or industries are most welcome in this area?
All right, that's a very good question. You need to think, and again, it's a different, because it's the Middle East. There are some protected industries, and there are some sensitive industries. So if we're talking about, for example, if we're talking about manufacturing of military equipment or weapons, I would say that those are sensitive. You're not going to be able to invest in those kind of sectors and so on. Other protected industries or sectors, you would find it for large families, or there are politically how can I say, politically supported industries, where they close the industries for some of the investors and they protect it from foreign investment, because there are some political aspects in that. But the rest, I would say, there are few areas where the Middle East has the most potential and natural resources. Think about the technology, digital transformation and technology, securities as well. Those are absolutely good industries. Agriculture and food agriculture industries, absolutely great, because of there are a lot of areas where it's the agriculture and the food consumption as well is absolutely one of a kind. The third thing is the energy. And if you think about the Middle East in terms of the energy, you would find that the old energy, if you're talking about the oil and gas, this is the richest area. And if you're talking about the renewable energy, like the sun and the wind and so on, imagine Saudi Arabia as a solar system energy, plus the oil and gas. Think about Jordan or Lebanon in terms of the wind. Think about Egypt from different natural resources, from solar energy as well, and so on. And the gas, where it has a lot in the Mediterranean Sea and so on. So it's the think of the industries or the businesses that is related to the energy, which is much more cheaper than Europe and the US. And there are a lot of renewable energy as well there. And this will definitely help you start selecting the good business that you need to go in.
Thank you so much. A question that comes up for me is, what's a minimum amount that we need in order to make an investment in the Middle East? So I don't want to say dollar amount, but in terms of currency, what would that look like?
Right. The minimum, you would see the minimum if you're talking about things like having a double nationality or having the passport. And of course, if you're American citizens, why do you need an Egyptian passport? You know, it's good. But however, this is not the minimum that the seek. Now, when we are talking about governments that is actually encouraging investments. Think about Egypt. You don't have to have a minimum capital in order to start the business. And of course, it's different. If you're talking about, services business or manufacturing and so on, you don't have. There is no regulation that this is the minimum and amount of money that you need to invest. But of course. Not with banks, for example, not with insurance companies and so on. These are when the country regulations request for minimum capital to be paid and so on. But for the rest is absolutely, you don't have to have a certain amount. Emirates is the same. It only asks you for the licenses, where to invest and what to invest in. It depends on the license. You pay for the license, but they do not ask you for capital in order to be able, and you put it into the bank. Saudi Arabia does not require capital in the first year. So absolutely, if you have zero capital and you need to invest, you start getting the license and you don't get a capital. And again, but I'm not talking about every industry and about every business, but there are a lot of encouragement to go in. I would mention as well is that in Egypt, for example, there is this mubadara. So the mubadara is from the government and the local banks in Egypt. If you are requiring capital in order to get raw materials or manufacturing equipment or building factories and so on, it gives you a lot of bank and financial facilitation with 5% interest. Well, by the way, this is the lending. If you think about that, now it's 18%. Return on time deposit from the banks. You think how low it is that the Egyptian government and the banks are encouraging investment, and you don't have to bring fresh cash with you. It can be just the ideas, just the thoughts, and you would definitely be supported by the government and the loans from the banks.
Excellent. Thank you very much.
Mounir, does this region prefer countries that people are coming doing business, and say, or other regions said, no, we don't want you to come from any region? Are there any political stuff to consider?
Okay, it's not like we don't want you, but it's a different perspective of doing the business. So I would say now Saudi Arabia is one of the booming, with Mohammed bin Salman, from the royal family, started to put the Vision 2030, and it started to say, I want to give you some business if you come and invest in Saudi Arabia. If you're in Riyadh or in Jeddah or in Khobar and so on, I will definitely support you if you're doing business. And in fact, you can come and get some business from the government, from Saudi Arabia and so on. So this is where it's absolutely open. So for the visas, opening the business, starting the business, you don't have to have a local representative anymore. You don't have to have the kafil or the agent from with a Saudi. So you can have an absolutely 100% foreign capital in Saudi. That was not the case a few months back, not years. And they are absolutely encouraging to do that. Not only having a lot of Saudi people who are willing to work in such companies and so on, but you can bring people from outside of Saudi as well. But of course, you need to take care of the regulations. How many Saudis versus different nationalities like Pakistanis or Indians or Filipinos or Lebanese and so on. But it's absolutely inviting you and willing to have so many companies. And in fact, for my company, I am working on opening another branch in Saudi Arabia. Although I'm taking business, a lot of business from big companies in Saudi, but having a registered company in Saudi or a branch, that would definitely give us much more exposure than the usual. Emirates, if you are, it does not need anything. You just need to come, have a local representative who can help you to support, and then you can have this kind of flexible desks. So you don't need to even rent a space or have a physical location or a number of employees. You need only to have some flexible desks and BO box. But if you think about a different country like in Kuwait, for example, I'm not going to be, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that don't go and invest there, but let's get the first element that I said, political stability. Just a few minutes back, the government have resigned because it has been few months where there are a lot of conflict between the government and the parliament and the royal family and so on. And it was not really a good investment atmosphere. And because of that, and part of that is that they were not likely to welcome foreign investment. It's a lot of regulations in order to be able to put a company working in Kuwait. That's totally different than in Saudi Arabia or Egypt or Emirates, the top three countries that are working now as investor attraction, and they want foreign investment to be done. But of course, again, just to short answer the question, it's not going to be saying no, we don't want you, but you would find a lot of protected regulations, hurdles in your way, so it's not going to be easy to open business there.
Okay. Another question I have, because for the audience, maybe we have audience there who he or she is a single entrepreneur, and he or she fell in love, I don't know, with the warm weather and the hell of sand over there. So I want to move to Egypt, or I want to move to the Oman. I'm a huge fan of Oman, by the way. The Oman, or one of these beautiful countries over there, and said, as a single entrepreneur, like say, I want to go as a consultant, consult Egypt companies how to do business in the US, or I'm a yoga teacher, or I'm, I don't know, a language teacher, or I'm a fitness trainer, so a single entrepreneur, or I'm a, I don't know, a hairdresser. How is the situation for a single entrepreneur to come there? What is to expect? How is the lifestyle to live there, work there? How is this?
Well, it's all these are. In fact, you would see a lot of schools in Egypt or Saudi Arabia, Emirates, and so on, full of foreigners from everywhere, and they love it there because in fact, the taxation is much more less than in the US or in in Europe. So the income tax are much less. The pay is absolutely good. You can make some good money, and then with the transfer of the currency and so on, it's people here just feel that they can travel a lot, live the lifestyle, and this is where it's when we're talking about liberal markets. When it's more liberal markets, inviting the others, accepting the others, even if they are single entrepreneurs, that's much more easier for them to live in. So that's why UAE has been pioneer in that. A lot of Europeans, a lot of the US citizens want to live there because of the facilities and the lifestyle, and that they are feeling the liberty for religions, having different cultures and so on. Egypt, of course, it has everything there, and with the government before and after the 1 year of bad government that we had, it was absolutely open for all people from different cultures to come and live in. That's why one of the major things that Mohammed bin Salman have started to do in Saudi Arabia is to change the way people think about Saudi Arabia. Prior to that, there are no cinemas, there are no outings. It's for women. It's there is no driving, and a lot of regulations that was controlling the society and the culture. Mohammed bin Salman started to change the culture, so that now you can see the entertainment in Saudi Arabia, live concerts, people going, everything is now more liberal, and it's not the conservative way of living, and that will definitely bring a lot of entrepreneurs to such areas where the investment will be having a lot of return on investment.
Mohamed, I was looking at your website, and I think it's really important for our viewers and our listeners to know that one of the things that really differentiates you from other organizations is that you have expertise in so many areas of consultancy. And I just was looking: sales and marketing, operations and maintenance, finance, information technology, human resources. It goes on and on and on and on. So I'd love for you to share a little bit more with our audience about how you are the full package, the full service, if you will.
Well, okay. So think about it. It's when we started the idea of Pinnacle, it was mainly focusing about how to enhance the performance of people, employees, teams, and organization. And when we talk about the performance, we definitely think about that everyone has his own potential. Every company has its own potential, but it needs only to get some boost and some support in order to get those potential out and reach the top of their potential. We started thinking of how how people perform. It's mainly related with the structure and where is the technology structure of those companies. It's about the learning and the behaviors of the people, and it's about the processes. So this is how we started building our internal departments. So a department having this business information modernization related with the digital transformation, Internet of Things, and doing business with the robotics and IoT. Talking about the arm of the training and the people behavior, we have a joint venture between Pinnacle and Develor International. This is a company where it started in Europe. Now it has been 30 years working in Europe, and now in 17 countries, including Egypt. And this is where we had this joint venture, and we're giving a lot of training related with the leadership and gamifications, agility, and so on. And with the process, with our Lean Six Sigma European Foundation for Quality Management, those are the two elements that we're working on. We built everything about being measured and managed. And of course, in terms of the services that we do consultation related with the functions, so marketing, sales, finance, human resources, and the rest of the operations. From a training perspective, we're absolutely unique in the soft skills, and of course we're having a lot of how can I say it, basic skills like the marketing skills, digital marketing, digital presence, finance for non-finance people, and so on. And from processes, we're definitely one of the best in process re-engineering and doing some consultation on making all the operation much more lean, as well as with less defects. So yes, we're and further now we're located in 17 countries, including Lebanon, Jordan, Oman, UAE, and Libya. Soon, inshallah, will be in Saudi Arabia.
Congratulations on all your success in such a short time. That is really commendable.
Thank you so much. Thank you. It was a short time, but it was a tough time when we were having the pandemic and we were just investing in marketing rather than generating any revenues. But it was tough time, but it was good time as well for us all.
Yeah, and it's also sorry, Jacalyn.
Oh, go ahead.
No, I said, and it's also a good community you have around you. You know, Pinnacle is like a family. I mean, tomorrow there's a Pinnacle meeting I'm joining also. It's also about caring and sharing and supporting each other. And that's what I love with the Pinnacle. It's not only the expertise. There's an incredible expertise, absolutely,
yes,
in so many fields. But it's also this caring and sharing and being there for each other, supporting each other. That's what I highly appreciate on Pinnacle too, and especially with you, Mounir.
Thank you so much, Roland, and thank you to hear that. And it's one of the main thing that we were talking about is the selection of the people that joins the Pinnacles. We seek people who love and have passion about collaboration. So it's not a corporation; it's more about collaboration. Everyone has its own uniqueness, has its own potential. So when we bring those people together, we create a lot of value for our clients. So when we manage Olayan or Al Ghanim in Kuwait, Olayan in Saudi Arabia, those are giants. And what they love about us is that they say, guys, you just come here and you're not like any other consulting or training company. You want us to succeed. You have the passion so that we see you as if it's this is your own company, and that's the beauty of it. We try to select the people with a lot of knowledge, studies, and scientific background, but not only this, but also the expertise hands-on on the market, so that we have the scientific and the practical knowledge, and the blend of it will definitely create more of success opportunities.
Thank you. For people who are watching now, or they're watching the future or listening, and they're really excited and they want to reach out and they want to start an engagement with you, what does that process look like?
I would say it's a start by contacting one of the business developing managers, where they start requesting or understanding what type of things. And I need just to say is that you don't have to have a problem in order to contact us or to seek some consultation. It might be that we're doing absolutely fine, but we want to grow. We want to do business in different countries. We have a lot of our clients coming from Lebanon, and they are relocated in Egypt, in UAE, in Saudi Arabia. We have a lot of our clients that were starting in Egypt, and we started to find them a lot of opportunities in UAE and South Africa. So this is the idea, is that if you want to grow, if you want to take yourself from point A and to point B, and you want us to support you, you're coming to the right place. What we start to do is that we take what we call the assessment phase. This is where the Pinnacle assessment phase starts, and we are taking it based on the Lean Six Sigma Foundation and the European Foundation for Quality Management. We do the voice of the client. We hear the client in a very good way. We have assessment on the environment. We need to understand. We look at the files. We look at the information that they give us, and we have the voice of the process. We understand the process, how they are doing the business, and based on those kind of assessment, we see where are the gaps, where they want to, where they are now, and where they want to be. If it's a training, or if it is a consultation that we give, we start with this. After that, we design, and we share our designs with the client, giving them the different options that they can go through. And then what makes us unique is that we don't leave after we deliver the service. We stay there to measure the impact of our training on the behavior, like what we do with Develor, and we measure that, or we measure the impact on the business and the return on investment when they have done it. How did this business or this consultation help our client to do better, or to perform better?
Outstanding. I love everything that you're doing and the passion that you have, and how it sounds like from what you're both describing, not only do you have expertise from wall to wall, from country to country, but it's a family, it's a community, it's an organization that is all about helping others and doing it in a heart-centric way.
Yes, thank you, and I hope I will maintain that with people like Roland and the rest of the team supporting the same vision. I think we are creating value in the market, and we see this succeed, inshallah, and more to come.
Absolutely. And I also want to stress out that Pinnacle, and especially you, Mounir, it's not only the expertise and this amazing team, it's also your amazing network and the people you know on different cooperation sites, on organization, government, politicians. You have a huge network that can be very, very helpful and supportive for your clients too in these areas.
And to be honest, this is one of the things that I always say, that the network capital is much more important. I've been in the business since I was 18, and I think I'm keeping the good relation with everyone that I've encountered, and maintaining those kind of relations across the countries that I've worked in. And this is what brings a lot of value for the people. You know, everyone has a lot of knowledge, but how to deliver this network is much more important. Sorry, not much more important. Let me rephrase that. It is one of the most important elements to have the network in order to be able to distribute the knowledge that you do have and the expertise. So yes, alhamdulillah, and we're always keeping this with the right technology in hand, the right processes in hand, and having the right people to maintain our relationship with the clients.
And Mohamed, as we come to the end of our show, I would love for you to share with our audience, how can they reach out to you, and who would you like to contact you?
Right. So initially from our website, there is this contact us, and on the screen there is my personal email. So you can absolutely hammer me with emails, and we definitely will start contacting you. And there is on our website, whether it's on Develor or in Pinnacle, we do have the contact us. This is the start, and we will take it from there.
All right. Well said. Thank you so much. Any last comments from you, Roland?
Well, you know, wherever you are and you want to have a business in one of these areas, doesn't matter if it's a huge organization or singularpreneur, contact Mounir and his teams, and you're in your best hands. That I highly recommend. Absolutely, from my own experience.
Thank you so much, Roland.
Thank you so much for being here, and I hope you'll come back and see us again on this or one of our other shows.
Interested to do that. Thank you so much, Dr. Jacalyn, for the opportunity. Much appreciated. Hopefully, it was time well invested.
Yes, thank you for all the value that you shared today. We really do appreciate it.
Thank you.
Bye, Mounir, and see you tomorrow at the team meeting. Bye.
Thank you.
Bye.
Cheers. Bye-bye.
Roland, thank you so much for inviting him to the platform. I really enjoyed his presentation and having him share with our audience around the world why it's so important to look at branching out, at going into other countries. And the information we shared today is one step closer to helping people do that. So thank you.
You're very welcome, because I know it's a huge opportunity in these areas, because they get more and more stabilized politically, and they're growing, they're consuming, they get more modern, more liberate. So it's a huge opportunity, and as mentioned, not only for huge organization, also for single entrepreneurs to go there. It's a good spot, absolutely. And Mounir and his team at Pinnacle are the best address to start.
All right, it's time to sign off because we have your show coming up. So I'd love for you to share with our audience, what can they expect to learn from you on the Talking Heads show today? Today
we continue with episode, I think, number 6 out of 12. So the whole module is called control of attention. The prime issue is control of attention. And today we are talking about pressure points, just to learn where does the pressure come from, how to handle it. And that's the topic today, pressure points.
All right, stay tuned. We're coming back in less than 15 minutes. Roland, I'll let you go and I'll see you in the other studio.
Yeah, see you later. Thank you so much. Bye.
Thank you. Bye for now. And thank you, as always, to each and every one of you who watch our shows, who listen to our shows, who help spread the word. We are definitely growing. We're adding more programs. If you'd like to be involved, if you'd like to be one of our team members, you can contact me directly by going over to usaglobaltv.com, or my other website is Dr. Jacalyn, spelled just like my name, drjacalyn.com, and just contact us. And I'm always open to hearing new ideas. Our shows that we offer now are shows where they're a talk show like what we have today. Also, our experts presenters on the Talking Head platform. And then we have our shows that are with panelists. As the men's show that's coming, we have a women's show that is Wednesdays now. It's called Women's Prerogative. So if you'd like to be considered to be on our team in any of these aspects, please do go ahead and contact me. All right, as I mentioned, we're coming back momentarily with our Talking Head show, and Roland FRIEDL is our presenter. So I hope you will do join us for that. Thank you again. Bye for now.